20 years ago, Iran was supplying 90% of Israel's oil. They weren't just trading partners, they were building missiles together in secret. Israel's largest intelligence center outside Tel Aviv was operating in Tehran. The two countries hid their collaboration from the United States, and when the CIA found out, they were furious. Today, these same two countries are threatening each other with war. What happened? Welcome to Iran, a country where nothing is what it seems, and contradictions aren't just common, they're the entire system. You step off a plane in Tehran, exchange $100 at the airport, and instantly become a millionaire. Literally, you're now holding millions in cash. But by next week, you'll need twice as many millions to buy the same groceries. Here, men can legally marry a woman for 1 hour. Women dominate universities but need permission to board international flights. The world's largest shopping mall stands filled with stores you've never heard of. No Starbucks, no Nike, no Apple Store. This country has more oil reserves than almost any nation on Earth. Doctors here earn $600 a month, less than a barista makes in London. 92 million people live inside contradictions so extreme they sound impossible. The most educated generation in Iran's history is desperate to leave. Not because they hate their country, because staying means watching your degree become worthless and your salary evaporate weekly. You've seen the headlines about sanctions and conflict, but headlines don't show you the underground parties, the illegal VPNs on every phone, the women removing headscarves in North Tehran while surveillance cameras track their faces, or why cosmetic surgery is more common here than anywhere on Earth. The truth about Iran isn't what governments claim or what media reports. It's stranger, darker, and more resilient than anyone wants to admit. This is Iran, and I guarantee it's not what you think. First, let's address a common misconception. Iranians are not Arabs, and they do not speak Arabic. The majority population is Persian, and their language is Farsi. While Iran shares geographic proximity and some religious traditions with Arab nations, the cultural and linguistic identity is distinct. In fact, tensions between Iran and several Arab-majority countries run deep, rooted in centuries of history, sectarian differences, and modern geopolitical competition. Many imagine Iran as an endless desert. Parts of the country do feature vast arid landscapes, terrain so Mars-like that planetary scientists have conducted research there. But Iran's geography is remarkably diverse. The Alborz mountain range in the north features snow-capped peaks and ski resorts. The Caspian coast is humid and forested. The south is arid and hot. This is a country 4.5 times the size of Germany, spanning 1.6 million square kilometers. Approximately 40% of Iran's population is under 25 years old, and about 73% live in urban areas. This is fundamentally a young, urbanized nation. While ethnic Persians constitute roughly 61% of the population, significant communities of Azerbaijanis, Kurds, Lurs, Baloch, and others contribute their own languages and traditions. Farsi is the official language, but Azeri, Kurdish, Arabic, and numerous other languages are spoken across different regions. Iran has never been a cultural or ethnic monolith. Here's a historical fact that surprises many. Iran and Israel, today bitter adversaries, were once close strategic partners. When Israel was established in 1948, Iran became the second Muslim-majority nation to recognize it after Turkey. During the 1950s through the 1970s, while surrounding Arab states refused to sell oil to Israel, Iran supplied up to 90% of Israel's petroleum needs. The relationship extended far beyond commerce. These were strategic military and intelligence allies. In 1977, the two countries secretly collaborated on Project Flower, developing surface-to-surface missiles together. Israel provided technology, Iran provided funding. The CIA discovered this cooperation years later and was reportedly furious that two allies had concealed such a significant military program. During this period, Israel's intelligence agency operated a major facility in Tehran for monitoring regional developments. Iran's Jewish population numbered over 80,000, the largest in the Middle East outside Israel itself. Trade, military cooperation, and diplomatic relations flourished. Then came 1979. The Iranian Revolution overthrew Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, whose authoritarian rule and close Western ties had generated widespread resentment. Ayatollah Khomeini rose to power, establishing an Islamic republic. Diplomatic relations with Israel were severed within weeks. Yesterday's ally became today's adversary. What's often lost in contemporary rhetoric is this: the Iranian and Israeli peoples share no territorial disputes. They don't border each other. The current enmity is primarily a government-level ideological and geopolitical conflict rather than a grassroots popular movement. Political leadership and regional dynamics created this opposition. Whether these two nations might one day normalize relations remains uncertain, but history shows that geopolitical alignments can shift dramatically. Iranian women present one of the country's most striking contradictions. Approximately 50 to 55% of university students in Iran are women, among the highest rates in the Middle East. They work across every professional sector: medicine, engineering, technology, business, education, and research. Iranian women are among the most educated populations in the region. Yet these same highly educated women face mandatory hijab laws enforced by the state. Many require male family permission to travel abroad. Public dress codes remain legally enforced, restricting personal expression. In September 2022, Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman, died in police custody after being detained for allegedly wearing her headscarf improperly. Her death sparked nationwide protests under the slogan Zan Zendagi Azadi, Woman, Life, Freedom. Demonstrations erupted across all 31 provinces. Women publicly removed headscarves, cut their hair, and confronted security forces. The government response was severe. Human rights organizations documented at least 500 deaths during the protests, with thousands arrested. Internet access was restricted to prevent coordination and documentation. By 2025, enforcement tactics have evolved. In affluent Tehran neighborhoods, many women wear loose scarves or no headscarf at all. But this should not be mistaken for policy change. The government has deployed surveillance cameras with facial recognition, license plate tracking, and plainclothes monitors. Businesses face closure or heavy fines if authorities deem they're allowing improperly dressed women on premises. Proposed hijab and chastity legislation includes substantial fines, travel restrictions, and prison sentences. Some charges theoretically carry severe penalties, including lengthy imprisonment. Recent cases illustrate enforcement intensity. A young couple received approximately 10-year prison sentences for filming themselves dancing near Azadi Tower. The video went viral on social media. Authorities charged them with promoting public indecency and propaganda against the state. A street vendor whose joyful dancing videos gained social media attention was detained, his accounts shut down, and nearby businesses warned. This creates profound tension for younger Iranians. Many push boundaries, using VPNs to stream foreign content, wearing loose headscarves, attending underground parties. But visible activism carries significant personal risk. The gap between private aspirations and public restrictions continues to widen. Most people worldwide take internet access for granted. In Iran, it's a controlled resource, monitored, filtered, and occasionally severed entirely. Major platforms including Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X are officially banned or heavily restricted, particularly during periods of social unrest. Iranians rely on VPNs, proxy servers, and various technical workarounds to access the global digital world. The state monitors social media activity. Those who post content deemed problematic report harassment or threats. Critics and journalists have faced interrogation and detention for their online presence. In 2024, Iran elected Masoud Pezeshkian as president. He campaigned on a relatively moderate platform, suggesting reduced online restrictions and greater openness. Under his administration, WhatsApp and Google Play were unblocked, symbolic gestures toward digital liberalization. Many young Iranians felt cautiously optimistic. However, in June 2025, the government demonstrated its continued control. For several days, Iran significantly restricted access to the global internet, forcing citizens onto a state-controlled national network. Even VPNs struggled to function during this period. Officials justified this as necessary for national security. Human rights observers described it as digital isolation affecting 92 million people. When Iranians access international content, Korean music, American shows, global news, social media, they're doing so through illegal VPNs purchased on black markets at considerable personal risk. Press freedom is severely limited. Newspapers are state-run or operate under restrictive licenses with heavy censorship. Independent journalism faces enormous challenges. Reporters have been imprisoned for covering sensitive topics or criticizing officials. Discussing the 2022 protests, Mahsa Amini's death outside official narratives, or criticizing mandatory hijab laws can result in arrest under broad charges like spreading propaganda against the state. Many Iranians practice careful self-censorship, speaking in coded language and avoiding certain topics in public settings. This is the invisible barrier Iranians navigate daily. Iran has endured waves of Western economic sanctions over 2 decades, blocked from international banking systems like SWIFT, restricted from selling oil freely, isolated from participating fully in the global economy. The Iranian rial has collapsed catastrophically. In 2025, $1 exchanges for over 600,000 rials on the open market. This is why exchanging money in Tehran makes you an instant millionaire. You'll carry stacks of bills too thick for a single pocket. But this wealth means nothing. In October 2024, Parliament approved currency redenomination, planning to remove 4 zeros from the rial. 1 million rials will become 100 units of new currency, simply to make daily transactions less absurd. Imagine paying hundreds of thousands of rials for basic groceries. Official inflation hovers around 40 to 50% annually. Some independent analysts suggest higher. Prices for staples like meat, rice, and cooking oil can double within a year. A kilogram of beef costs approximately $12 or more. For millions of working-class families, meat has become a luxury reserved for special occasions. Between January and April 2025, Iran's oil exports to China, its primary buyer, fell to approximately 1.38 million barrels per day, roughly 7% below the previous year's average. Oil revenue constitutes nearly 25% of Iran's economy. When this income drops, effects ripple through healthcare, education, infrastructure, and public services. Here, a medical doctor earns around $600 monthly. A teacher might make $400, an experienced engineer perhaps $600 to $700. These same professionals could earn 10 to 15 times more in the UAE, Turkey, Canada, or Europe. So they leave. Surveys from 2024 and early 2025 indicate that 70 to 80% of medical students plan to emigrate after completing their training. Similar percentages appear across other university disciplines. Tens of thousands of professors, doctors, engineers, and IT professionals have already left. For foreign visitors with access to dollars or euros, a frugal lifestyle, budget accommodations, local food, public transport, costs roughly $800 to $1,000 monthly. A comfortable middle-class experience with decent housing and regular dining out costs $1,500 to $2,000. An expatriate luxury lifestyle in upscale Tehran neighborhoods costs $4,000 to $5,000 or more monthly. But local Iranians lack access to these dollar-based standards. There's also constant tension around social activities. Cafes allowing unveiled women risk raids, fines, or license revocation. Private house parties with mixed genders and prohibited alcohol might be raided by undercover police, resulting in arrests and public shaming on state television. Alcohol is completely illegal under Islamic law. Drinking, producing, or selling it can result in severe punishment, lashes, heavy fines, imprisonment. Yet a thriving underground alcohol market exists, with secret parties happening regularly in major cities. This shadow economy, both financial and social, is how millions of Iranians navigate a system where official wages can't cover official prices, and basic freedoms require breaking laws. Dating and marriage navigate between conservative social norms and modern urban realities. Young couples often meet online or at university, then carefully introduce each other to families who may expect traditional courtship protocols. In Iran, men may have up to 4 permanent wives and unlimited temporary marriages called sayha or mut'a. These temporary contracts can theoretically last from 1 hour to 99 years. Women must consent and typically receive payment, but gain no inheritance rights. The practice carries significant social stigma. It remains controversial within Iranian society itself. Some view it as exploitative. Others argue it provides legal framework for relationships that would otherwise exist in gray areas. Meanwhile, cosmetic surgery, particularly rhinoplasty, is extraordinarily common. Tehran performs more nose surgeries per capita than anywhere globally, including South Korea and the United States. The reason relates directly to mandatory hijab laws. When most of your body must be covered by law, your face becomes your primary canvas for self-expression. For many young Iranian women, cosmetic surgery represents autonomy and control over at least one aspect of their appearance. Tehran, Iran's sprawling capital, houses approximately 15 million people in its metropolitan area, one of the Middle East's largest cities. It serves as political center, financial hub, and cultural nucleus. Tehran is where Iran's contradictions become most visible and concentrated. But here's the complication. Iran operates almost entirely as a cash economy. International credit cards from Visa, MasterCard, and American Express don't function due to banking sanctions. Locals use domestic Shetab network cards and QR apps. Digital wallets are useless. You'll carry thick wads of cash everywhere. Restaurants, hotels, shops, transportation. Where do you think is the world's largest shopping mall located? Not Dubai, not Singapore, not Shanghai. It's in Tehran. Iran Mall spans approximately 2 million square meters, about 21.5 million square feet, making it larger than Dubai Mall, Mall of America, or any other shopping complex globally. Yet inside this massive structure, you won't find a single recognizable international brand. No Starbucks, no McDonald's, no Zara, Nike, Apple Store, or other familiar names from Western capitals. Western economic sanctions prohibit international corporations from entering the Iranian market or conducting business with Iranian entities. This forced isolation created unexpected opportunities for domestic companies. Iranian brands have flourished in the vacuum left by foreign competition. Local fashion, technology, food, and cosmetics companies have become successful through necessity-driven innovation. Iranians have learned remarkable resourcefulness. What they cannot import, they reverse engineer or create domestically. Traveling from Imam Khomeini International Airport toward the city center, you'll pass through Azadi Square in western Tehran. Tehran has world-class public transportation rivaling many European capitals. The metro system operates 7 lines covering approximately 250 kilometers, transporting roughly 5 million passengers daily. It's clean, modern, and remarkably efficient considering economic challenges. Men and women ride in separate cars during peak hours, reflecting gender segregation policies. Tehran's economy alone, if independent, would rival mid-sized nations. Estimates suggest Tehran's GDP is around $160 to $200 billion annually, representing 40 to 50% of Iran's entire national economy. However, this wealth concentrates in the hands of government-connected elites, powerful business families, and religious foundations called bonyads that control vast economic empires. Ordinary Iranians see little of this prosperity. For tourists, most nationalities can obtain visas on arrival at Tehran's airport for $75 to $100, valid for 30 days. Processing takes 30 minutes to 2 hours depending on volume and security checks. Americans, Canadians, and British citizens face significantly more complex procedures, requiring pre-approved visas and often mandatory guides or registered sponsors. Movements may be monitored. Iran is a nation of profound contradictions that resists simple understanding. Iran is neither the threat some governments portray, nor the victim it sometimes claims to be. It's a country struggling with the weight of its own contradictions, a place where the future remains unwritten and possibilities, however constrained, still exist. The story of Iran is still being written by Iranians themselves.